last night in the City Terrace area. Happened at happened near Miller Street and City Terrace Drive. Again, this happened around last night around 9 o'clock. Apparently, he stole that white Toyota RAV4 that you see in the screen right here and also shot the victim in this case. So a violent, armed, and dangerous suspect behind the wheel of this Toyota RAV4. Don't know if there's anybody else inside the vehicle tonight, and we'll try and get a little bit of a closer look, although obviously it's pretty dark out. If we get an opportunity, we'll see if we can peer through that windshield either on the passenger side or straight on. But right now we only know of the driver behind the wheel, and just unclear at this point whether there's anybody else inside the vehicle with him. But what I can tell you is we continue to follow him southbound down here. Look at that, a wild right turn there to evade that red light, and he just came right up on that car sitting at the red light. Very dangerous driving, extreme speeds on surface streets, now on Slauson Avenue. Slauson passing Alcoa Avenue. Just watch how much faster he's traveling than the rest of the cars out on the road this evening. Now about 50 miles per hour, slowing down slightly. That was going to be a westbound turn on Slauson Avenue. Right through another red light. Okay, copy that. Once again, to recap, if you're just joining us, you are looking live at a police pursuit in Southeast LA, LAPD Hollenbeck Division, on the tail of that white Toyota RAV4, the driver wanted for a carjacking and subsequent shooting that happened last night in the City Terrace area. Now they apparently have caught up with that suspect, and he is refusing to pull over, driving very recklessly through the streets of East LA. Traveling now westbound on Slauson Avenue. This started near downtown this evening, made his way through East LA, out on Cesar Chavez, and then he made his way a little bit south on Atlantic before turning around and going back in the westbound direction via Slauson now. So we're westbound Slauson with moderate traffic, moderate to light traffic, I would say, on this Monday night. He's slowing down just a little bit, but as you can tell, we have seen several very erratic moves since we have had eyes on this pursuit. This is disconcerting, knowing that he is armed and willing to shoot. It looks like LAPD has fallen back slightly as he picks up a little bit of speed, going through all of these intersections without any regard for the traffic signals. In the meantime, LAPD does have their airship up overhead, keeping a close eye from above, maybe allowing those units on the ground to take a little bit of the pressure off to slow things down here. We'll see if they come back up behind him here, but they are still in pursuit of that white Toyota RAV4 with an armed and dangerous driver behind the wheel. Westbound Slauson through Compton Avenue, again slowing down slightly, doing about the speed limit, maybe just over the speed limit, but as you can see, those rear windows are pretty dark. Again, hard to tell. Oh, copy, thank you. Yep, no, thank you, appreciate that. So if he continues now, he's making his way westbound on Slauson through Central Avenue, and that's going to take him into an area of LAX's airspace where air traffic control will not permit us to continue. And look at that, just as he crossed Central, he's now blacked out the vehicle, turned off his headlights, turned off his taillights, and he is zooming into the darkness with only a couple of units on his tail. In fact, from this vantage point, I can't see any of those ground units anymore, at least from this angle. We'll see if they come back into the picture. Looks like he's making a southbound turn onto Mettler Avenue, so a southbound turn off of Slauson, taking him further and deeper into South LA. So that is actually not Mettler, that is Avalon Boulevard. That was a southbound turn off of Slauson onto Avalon Boulevard. As we peer through the buildings here, we're shooting about a mile off the nose of Air 7 HD. He's got a green light there, going right through that busy intersection. I think that was 64th Street, now continuing southbound on Avalon Boulevard at a fairly good clip there. Looks like he has picked up a little bit of speed. We'll try and keep the camera on that SUV as long as we can. Another major intersection, making a right turn, making a westbound turn onto Florence. So Avalon down to Florence, and there is one primary unit behind him, a secondary unit behind that one, and I think there's a third. Yep, there's the third in the package. So they are now all chasing him through this red light. We'll see, they will go right through it if the crosswalk is clear, and they will continue westbound on Florence Avenue as he gets further into South LA. Another red light coming up there. That's going to be Florence Avenue and Main Street. Looks like he might have thrown something out the window there. Showing signs of maybe getting onto the freeway. Look at that. Choosing to make a right turn onto that on-ramp, it looks like. I think, yeah, sure is. Northbound 110 freeway. He is now getting onto the freeway. You saw those units going around traffic to keep up with him. They will make that right turn onto the freeway with him, but he is now picking up speed as he goes northbound on the 110 freeway straight towards downtown LA. He's behind, yeah, behind that wall. It's gonna be tough to, we'll have to catch up with him on the other side here. I do. They should catch up to him in just a second. That'll help. Stand by. They're still on the freeway. I saw that. It was an explosion? I saw that. I wonder if it might have been a tree onto a transformer or something. Right there, Exposition, northbound 110 at Expo. All right, we're getting another vantage point here as we come around LAX's Bravo airspace as LAPDs continue the pursuit northbound on the 110 freeway, approaching the heart of downtown LA. The 10 freeway basically going to be his next major interchange here as he continues northbound. Again, there are several LAPD units from LAPD's Hollenbeck division. They initiated this pursuit earlier this evening. This is going on about a half hour now. Ten freeway, he got onto the 10. Okay, stay on the 110. He went north, continuing northbound past the 10. Past the 10 on the 110. There he goes. There he goes. Under the 10 freeway. Definitely picking up steam here. As you can see, he's speeding right up through what they call the slot here in downtown, up the 110 freeway towards the 101 freeway, heading towards the 4 level. There is that primary unit once again. What we know for sure is that there is an armed and dangerous suspect in the driver's seat of that Toyota RAV4, apparently stolen last night during a carjacking in City Terrace where the victim was actually shot. West. Yep. Best we can, yeah. Continuing northbound. That, I believe, is the 101. He's going through the 101 interchange, so continuing, he's now north of downtown LA. This is very close to where they initially picked up this pursuit a little while ago, and now he's continuing northbound on the 110 freeway past the 101. I'm sorry, I've got the scanner up. Say that again, Christina, one more time. All right, let's go ahead and drop SkyMap for just a second. We'll go ahead and clear up the screen as we peer through basically a map of downtown LA because our suspect has now traveled straight up the 110 freeway towards Dodger Stadium, which you're looking at there near the top of your screen. As the playoffs continue, we are under the auspices of a temporary flight restriction that is in place right now, 3-mile radius around Dodger Stadium, that is preventing us from following the pursuit straight up the 110 freeway. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually do a north loop around the stadium, and hopefully, if he continues in that direction, we'll be able to pick up this pursuit on the other side of Elysian Park. If all works out well, we should have a visual of that suspect here in just a few minutes. I can tell you that LAPD is still in pursuit. Would not be surprising to see if CHP gets involved as well. It's also originated in LA County Sheriff's jurisdiction, so several agencies interested in this driver, but for right now, LAPD remains the primary agency leading this pursuit. Pasadena also monitoring, Pasadena Police Department. You heard that, Kyle? 110 at Avenue 43 was the last. Yep, bingo. Thank you. So it appears that LAPD's airship still has a visual of that suspect vehicle. Still on the 110 freeway. And the last cross that I heard was Avenue 53. Exiting the freeway. Getting off right there. That's the off ramp from the 101 freeway onto Avenue 60. Avenue 60. And look at that. Several new units have joined this pursuit. The suspect making a left eastbound turn on Avenue 60, crossing Monterey Road and continuing to speed through surface streets just off of the 110 freeway here in Highland Park. Now, as I mentioned, as we came off the freeway there, you could see there were at least a half a dozen units, including some new units. Not sure if they were LAPD or perhaps CHP. In any event, they're going to try and keep up with him, but LAPD's airship is the one calling the shots right now from up above. We don't see that night sun just yet, but they are following him. They are keeping a close eye as they track his location. He is in a very residential neighborhood now. Hard to make out, obviously limited street lights. Looks like, according to our sky map, that appears to be Colas Avenue, southbound Colas Avenue from Avenue 60. Okay, so we have a better vantage point now as we come back up over Colas Avenue. Driver looks like he's slowing down slightly, just a little bit more manageable as he makes his way through this tree-lined block, a very residential neighborhood, as he comes up on Yoakum Street. Not much traffic in Highland Park at this hour, as you can see. He's still paralleling the freeway, though, and it'll be interesting to see what his next option is here. It looks like he's going to have the next major of, I believe that is, I want to say Valley Boulevard. No, Huntington Drive. Coming up on Huntington Drive. That's a major intersection he's coming up on. He had a red light there, went right through it. A little bit of cross traffic as well. Now making the left turn onto Huntington Drive. That's going to be an eastbound turn coming in our direction here. In the El Sereno neighborhood now, as he continues eastbound, it looks like LAPD is going to re-engage this pursuit. Expect a few more units pulling up here. You've got that night sun from above, but they may have to pull off here in just a second. And now you see, look at that, just like that, those primary and secondary units and the supervisor right behind them picking up this pursuit once again in El Sereno. Eastbound Huntington Drive is where we are, just past Rosemead Avenue right there, blowing through red lights and picking up speed once again. We'll go ahead and throw up our real-time speed tracker, and you can see he's still doing about 50 to 60 miles per hour on Huntington Drive. Making a right turn here, over the curb, and now southbound onto Portola Avenue. Only about 5 car lengths behind him is that closest LAPD unit. Not clear whether they've given the go-ahead for a pit maneuver, but he's going a little too fast anyways. It would be one of those turns in a residential neighborhood just like this, where they might have an opportunity to fishtail him out of control and execute that pit maneuver if the watch commander or the supervisor authorizes that pit. So we'll see if that pit is authorized. In the meantime, they are keeping a close distance behind him, at least 3 or 4 units that I counted. Back onto Huntington Drive and a right turn, another eastbound right turn onto Huntington Drive. And there again, there you see it, 80 miles per hour, 80 miles per hour on Huntington Drive, definitely pushing the pedal to the metal right there. You could tell he's flooring the vehicle as he made that right turn, really picking up some major speed here now. Maybe the fastest we've seen since we've been overhead here. Again, LAPD's airship may be pulling off here, but that ground unit is doing a great job of staying right on his tail. There comes a U-turn, now going westbound on Huntington Drive, and we have a total of now 5 units right behind that suspect. Not sure if they're all LAPD units, but 5 black and whites nonetheless. Right through these red lights. I don't think he stopped at a single red light so far, not even slowing down for them, and we've seen a fair amount of traffic, cross traffic, but he's been pretty lucky so far, has not gotten in any collisions that we've seen. There's another unit he just passed, flying by that unit off the side of the road there, and LAPD continuing the pursuit, this time westbound on Huntington Drive. Another U-turn on Huntington Drive again. That was a U-turn at Van Horn Avenue, and now he's doing circles here in El Sereno. So if he's looking for a spot to dump the vehicle, that could be one possibility. We'll see if he makes a random turn off of Huntington Drive here, or if he has a little, there it is. He's pulling over, stopping the vehicle, and he may jump for behind this tree here. We're going to come right around here and see if he decides to give up peacefully, but you just kind of had the impression that he might have been looking for a spot to dump the vehicle. Let's see, is he still in there? We will see in just a second if that driver's side door is open. It looks like it's shut, and we'll see if there's anybody in that driver's seat. Hands out the window. Suspect in the driver's seat, hands out the window, and somebody in the passenger seat now. So two people inside that Toyota RAV4. That is a stolen vehicle out of City Terrace. Two people armed and dangerous behind the wheel of this car. Looks like they're ready to give it up. LAPD in a position now to execute a felony stop and place these two into custody if they follow those commands. And it looks like that driver's side door now popping open, keeping those hands and arms visible. Complying with officers, hands behind his head. The suspect believed to be in his 20s. Stepping away from the vehicle, and they will most likely have him proned out here in just a second, down on his knees. Those officers keeping a close eye with their guns drawn on the passenger seat as well. The suspect with his hands and arms and legs spread out on the pavement. Suspect now out of the vehicle with his hands in the air, also complying with officers, and it looks like this crime spree may be coming to an end here in El Sereno. Once again, right along Huntington Drive is where this is concluding, and it appears the suspects in this case ready to give themselves up after a dangerous pursuit through East LA. An arrest team now approaching the vehicle. They will inspect the back seat and the hatchback there, and it looks like this is going to be a code 4 here momentarily, indicating that the vehicle is cleared, and those suspects on the ground will be taken into custody here within just a few seconds. And that will do it. Fortunately, nobody hurt in this wild pursuit, thank goodness. Two suspects in custody, and everybody will go home safe after another nail biter here in East LA. Reporting live from Air 7 HD, I'm Chris Christie, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.